Fresh Baked, we are back at the Disneyland Resort, and we are here to update you on what's happening around the parks. We're going to walk the entire park. We're going to go to every land, every attraction. We're going to look at the crowds, we're going to look at the queues, and tell you what's new around the Disneyland Resort. This is our State of Disneyland report. Oh, I just love doing these reports. State of Disneyland is like my life these days. I love walking around the parks. I love talking to you guys about what's happening here, giving you guys updates, telling you what's new. And this is going to be another fun, information-filled report, I think. We are here at a little bit of a different time than our usual. I've been hard at work Sunday night and all day today, Monday, getting our construction report ready to go for publishing, which I just did when I just got to the park. I published that report, and we're here to film now our State of Disneyland report. And as usual, we are going to open up here in Town Square and Main Street Disneyland. The vibe, like I said, it's a little bit after 5. So we're going to be finishing this report up as the sun is setting. We may even have to go to Fancy Camp. How about that? And I do, by the way, I am expecting it to be quite a bit less crowded than typical, even more so than what we have been seeing. I certainly don't expect it to be busy. The Toy Story parking lot was darn near empty, comparatively speaking. Hello. I couldn't believe it, how little they were using of the Toy Story lot. So I am expecting it to be very, very light today. Now, let's get into our first topic, as always, is accessibility. How hard or difficult is it to get into the park these days? Our last report, I was shocked. Completely wide open calendar, every day was available, and I was this close to saying things have changed, everything is going to be different. But then I hedged and I remembered that last year we went through the same thing. This time during the summer last year we went through the same process where it was almost a completely wide open schedule, and then things changed once Magic Key started coming back. The Enchant Key and the Magic Key, which I do believe to be the case this week, this month as well. Right now it's not too difficult. You can still get a reservation for today, day of, but in the next week, when those keys start coming back, the Enchant Key comes back, they have weekdays available and Sundays available, not Saturdays, just Sundays for the Enchant Key. And of course, naturally, immediately, the next 2 weekends are booked for all Magic Keys now. You cannot make a reservation for next weekend or the weekend or next Saturday or Sunday. Next Sunday or the Sunday after that. So they're already starting to see the impact of Enchant Key hitting the parks, and the week after that will be Imagine. It's going to get even more difficult. You can still make weekday reservations. That's not too bad, but that's going to change as well because just the more people in the park, more competition. Those dates are going to start getting booked up as well. Unfortunately, we're going to see the same thing, I think, that we've been seeing for months now, and that is a continuation of it being busier during the week than it is on the weekends. I mean, literally more busy on Monday than on Saturday. Literally, not like comparatively speaking, not a ratio, but literal. And that's been that way for a little while, and that's because Disney's pushing. You should look. I mean, I don't know what I would do if I was presented, and this is a situation that's going to come up in September for single day tickets. On one day, you can go to the park for $179, max price, tier 7 or whatever the heck it is. And then the next day, I think, I'm pretty sure this is the case. One day it goes from $179 to $104 if you just wait one day. Now, obviously, it's a Saturday versus a Monday or something like that. Wait 2 days, I don't know. But the disparity is there, and if you've got enough people with flexible schedules, they're just not going to come to the park on a Saturday. Because why? Why would you spend the extra $70? So that's where we're at today. Things are still comparatively easy, relatively easy to get into the park right now, especially for Magic Keys. Or I should say, especially for single day tickets, which is wide open. But it's starting to get a little bit more difficult for Magic Keys to schedule, and I would say it is time again to start being aware of the calendar and start curate those reservations a little bit more. With that, let's make our way into the park once more, into the breach, Fresh Baked, starting as always in Adventureland, where the walk-in today is going to be far more perilous and adventurous than it has ever been. because of these darn walls that are up, which this is something that I address in the construction video that we just published today, a couple hours ago. I have concerns about this in terms of the scope of what's happening, the potential scope. It's not good. I think anyway, I fear. I should add, there's another situation just like this happening at the Grand Californian at Storytellers Cafe. So, and I think there's a third. So stay tuned. We're going to be watching that situation with the restrooms here closely for a little while and see how quickly they can get that fixed. Meanwhile, we're in Adventureland. As I mentioned, Jungle Cruise. We're going to check every attraction, as always, starting here at the Jungle Cruise where it says 30 minutes, just about standard. This is about how it usually is these days. Almost always is it like this, where it's 30 minutes, top section on the left is booked, but not the right. Easy peasy. That's not even 30 minutes, that's probably closer to 20. Indiana Jones, gratefully, is operational, though it's still, I'd say it's about, 30, 70 that it's closed these days. I walk by here a couple times a week at least, 2, 3, 4 times a week, and I would say, 1 out of 3 times is the attraction closed. So not much has changed since they did the upgrade or the refurb. They didn't solve any major problems there, and it's also a 50-minute wait for standby. You know what I want to see? How 50 is that 50? Okay. I mean, let's do some recon while we're here. I'm gonna guess it's all of that. That's my guess, is that it's all of that 50. Oh, it's lovely back here. It's nice and steamy. Oh, it's all that 50 and maybe more. This could get worse depending on what happens with Lightning Lane. But they have packed the standby queue. It looks like Lightning Lane has got a bunch of guests waiting as well. So I feel bad for the folks that are in this queue right now. I really do. But already our narrative is broken. Already the predicted narrative of this being not so busy today, based on my observations at the Toy Story parking lot, which is the least crowded I've seen that parking lot in a long time. And I got here late in the day when they should have probably filled up. Woody isn't even filled up. They still haven't filled up Woody. The back end where you walk it in part, that whole part of that lot is still open. And none of Jesse, obviously, and obviously none of Buzz. Okay, here's the big story from our construction report this week. The Adventureland Treehouse, the scrims are still down. It's looking mighty treehousey. We were really enjoying all the little features, trying to figure out how the pulley system was going to work with the water lines, the sewage, or not sewage, but the plumbing throughout the treehouse. And they're still obviously working on building the exit staircase, which, the way they had it before wasn't going to work. So from here, they've still got to complete this. This is new right here, this little platform. That's new. They've built that, and then they got to attach the stairs there and then run it down to the ground into the kitchen area. But great news that we're even this close right now. Will this be finished before Moana Journey of Water? I don't know. Pirates is dead. 15 minutes. You're looking at the entirety of the queue right there. That's all of it. You're getting in and going right back into the attraction, into the inner queue. Not much happening at Pirates of the Caribbean. Testament, though, to how efficient that attraction is, that it always has such a low wait. Very rarely does it ever get to the point where, like, oh my God, I don't want to get in that queue. I mean, it never gets to that point for me. I've never seen a Pirates queue that I was afraid of. Hi. Everybody's so friendly. I just love how friendly everybody is. It's so great. It makes my job so much fun. I really do like friendly people, as opposed to people who are not friendly. We'll hang it right. Just wanted to get a vibe down Royal Street. We're almost there, as the saying goes, here at Tiana's Palace. It'd be great if this could open like soon. I've been very curious to figure out why that we don't even have a date yet. No foodie guide, no date, no anything. But it's darn near done. Watch our construction report if you haven't already. Today is August 14th, the first day that the Haunted Mansion is closed. They are already beginning the transformation today into the Haunted Mansion Holiday Nightmare Before Christmas overlay. It'll be closed for 2 weeks. Well, 2 weeks and 3 days. Opening on September 1st with the holiday season, the Halloween season. Remember last month we were like, gosh, we're almost there. Just think, we're just a month and a half away from the Halloween season. Better get ready. Well, it's now just 2 weeks away. 2 weeks before the Halloween season. I'm really looking forward to this year. I'm really looking forward to seeing the decorations and the skins at the Haunted Mansion here and over at DCA and the Headless Horseman and all that. I couldn't be more excited for Halloween to get here. On that note, let's keep on going to Critter Country, still Critter Country. I think it's going to stay Critter Country. We can talk about that for a second. I do think it's going to stay this way, and I think Disney wants it to stay that way. As a matter of fact, I think they're going to lean into the critter thing here even more. They've got new critters coming to Splash Mountain or Tiana's Bayou Adventure. New critters coming into that attraction that they can, take advantage of as well. So you've got more than one character to monetize at Tiana's, besides Tiana, obviously, but you can monetize all those critters. People do love them, and we are in Critter Country. Getting hungry. I could eat like a bear right now. We're going to be stopping soon at Galaxy's Edge for a Tatooine sunset. Maybe we'll get a Ronto wrap while we're there also. Should I go Ronto or Ronto less? Wow, look at that. Winnie the Pooh. What is it? Did it break down? That's the biggest queue I've seen at Winnie the Pooh in quite a while. Oh, maybe not. Okay. I've seen it up in here in the past couple of months where they filled in and put all these extra stuff. That's impressive considering there's nobody back here because Splash Mountain, Tiana's Bayou Adventure is closed. Man, I hate these walls. We gotta look at these walls. What are we on, week 11, I think it was? Or am I a week off? Is it 11 or 12? No, I think, yeah, we're 11. And I'm estimating 80 weeks is my estimate. 80 weeks of this. And we're on 11.
Excuse me? Are you fresh baked?
I am, yeah. You guys want to go check out the vibe here at the 100 Acre Wood for a little bit? It's one of my favorite things. I love the vibe here. Pooh Sticks River, Pooh Sticks Bridge. I've actually played a game of Pooh Sticks here before. You come to the bridge like I am now, grab yourself a stick. Better if you play with friends and you have a race. You throw your stick in the water, hope that it floats and that it doesn't get stuck somewhere. Whatever I grab doesn't have enough body on it. It's a very light little twiggy thing, so it's not going to float. But, you race your sticks down here until you get to the end and see who wins. Oh, it's going backwards. Come on, you can do it. Nope, it's gonna get stuck on that rock. It's going back, it's going against the grain. That's miraculous. It's going under the bridge. How funny. That might be the biggest fail in the history of poo sticks racing. The benefit of doing this show later in the day is that we get a little bit more of magic hour. I think it's not quite 6 o'clock still. So we're getting some beautiful light to shoot in tonight. I think we're done for river traffic today. No canoes. The canoes are docked and they're dressing Queenie's raft over there. Although that show doesn't start until 7:05, I think. So river traffic is closed now for the night due to Queenie and the Jambalaya Jazz Band. We have a performance. We captured a very lovely opening or second night performance from Queenie. It's on our sister channel, Fresh Baked Presents, if you want to check that out. I really liked it. I mean, it's still fantastic, but I really liked it. Hi! If you have not yet had a chance to really take advantage of Rise of the Resistance, if you are an infrequent visitor to Disneyland and you're still curious about Rise of the Resistance, I mean, for a lot of us, you know, it's been a couple years. We're kind of, you know, well, not more than that even, but it's been a little while, so it doesn't have quite the demand that it had even just a year ago. Hi guys. Hey. Stay tuned because I think I'm going to be updating our guidance on how to approach Rise of the Resistance. I'll be doing a video where I'm just going to hit this thing. I don't know, I'm going to be here for, you know, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours or whatever, and ride it as many times as I can in that time frame, and then come back, you know, do it again, but in the second half of the day, like in the evening. We're going to try to do something like 20 ride-throughs on Rise and really nail, you know, what the opportune strategies are for Rise of the Resistance. Because things are definitely different today, as I was just alluding to. It is not the same situation here at Rise of the Resistance as it was even 6 months ago. It is far less competitive, much easier. Lightning lane is not an issue. You can get through. Matter of fact, I've even changed the way I feel about what's a good time to get into the queue. 45 minutes, 60 minutes, 80 minutes, that kind of thing. What is good and what isn't? We're going to solve that problem. And we're going to give you guys the best recon you've ever seen on Rise of the Resistance, to be sure. For now, let's check it out, what's happening right now. And that's actually as busy as I've seen it in a very long time, I gotta tell you. I am shocked, though, the way that the script keeps flipping on me every single month when I do these. And it's been a while since I've seen a queue back here. Still been a really long time. One time in maybe 2 months have I seen it in here. But even this queue right here, it's been a long time since I've seen it even in there. And if I were to have guessed at what an opportune time is to get on Rise presently, this would have been about the time. You know, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, which is, I think it's about 6 now. But that is a healthy standby queue right now, considering what I thought was going to be the case when I got here today. It's so funny how just unpredictable things can be, but it is a Monday. Today is Monday, and Monday is the new Saturday. Standby says 65 minutes. If you had shown me that queue a year ago, I would have guessed 80 or 90 minutes was the standby wait time, as opposed to wait time says 65. And that's something that we're going to get into in that video, because the reason why it's 65 and not 80 or 90 is because people aren't buying Lightning Lane. Difficult to tell because it's not like you ever see a big, lineup of guests in Lightning Lane here at Rise, but I mean, that still qualifies as a smattering to me. Not a lot of people opting in. I have seen this queue more or less full of Lightning Lane guests in the past. I have seen it happen. Not today. I've said before, like tips about Lightning Lane and things like that. One of the hacks that I have is doing the opposite. If you see the queue at, on the tip board at 80 minutes for Rise, that might be a good time to get in the queue. But if you see the wait time at 25 minutes, that's already too late. You've already missed it. And by the time you get there, it'll be, 45, 50 minutes by the time you get there. People react quickly. Unless you're right here in the area, you're going to miss it. And I think we actually watched that in action one time doing one of these State of Disneyland reports. But when Liz and I were here the other night, Friday night, we had that happen. We were at the Jolly Holiday, and the tip board said 25 minutes. I don't have any video of it. Well, I have video actually of us getting in the queue, but it said 25 minutes. She's like, "Do you want to go for it?" And I said it's too late. It's already too late. But we came down here anyway because we weren't doing anything. And while we were walking through this part of, because we're coming from, Main Street, we came down this route, and while we were walking through, just herds of people were running past us. You could hear them screaming, and I said they're chasing the 25, and it was I said they're chasing the 25. We're going to be too late, and sure enough, we walked through, we breezed through the first part of the queue pretty quick, but it was backed up. We couldn't even get to the all the way through the tunnel to the caves before it was backed up, and the whole I think the entire wait time. It was 15. It was actually posted at 15 when we got in the queue. It was a net 45. When we got to the vehicle, it was 45 minutes. Hey guys. So I think I'm going to place my mobile order now for Ronto Roasters. We're going to get us a Tatooine Sunset and a Ronto wrap and take a look at the tip board and see how the rest of the park is faring. So far, it feels busier than I was expecting. Ronto wrap secured. Tatooine Sunset secured. Refreshing as always. Man, I gotta think about getting 2 of those. I swear, I say that every week, but man, that's really good. All right, let's get to the tip board. All right, you guys ready? Right off the bat, we gotta close attraction. Alice in Wonderland is closed. Astral Orbiter 25, that's mid. Autopia 30 with an hour return time. Mid. Big Thunder 30 minutes. Hour return time. Mid. I don't know why I'm using the word mid today. Standard, usual. Buzz Lightyear 20 minutes, 6:25, standard, no big deal. Casey Jr. 5 minutes, no big deal. Chip and Dale. Gadget Coaster, 30 minutes, no surprises in either direction so far, exactly standard. Dumbo, 20 minutes. Nemo, 15, okay, so that's lower than usual. Usually that's 30 plus, maybe 40, 50. Indiana Jones, hour with Genie Plus is sold out. Fascinating. Fascinating. I mean, we saw a really healthy queue when we were there earlier, so that doesn't surprise me. Small World, 5 minutes. I feel so bad for. I mean, it's a cycler though. You can get through those. They can. Why do they even put Genie Plus on Small World? I just don't get it. You can cycle so many guests. You don't get no benefit. Why even bother? Jungle Cruise, 30 minutes, standard. Carousel 5, Tea Party 10, Winnie the Pooh 5, Matterhorn 40. That's pretty light. Turn time at 3 hours. That's actually lighter than usual when we do these. Half an hour for Runaway Railway, and they're not selling Lightning Lane for $18 a pop. It's actually kind of standard these days. Runaway Railway is another attraction that it's getting easier and easier to hit on standby. They need to take that Lightning Lane off and put that on regular Genie Plus. Falcon 45. We'll stop by there in a minute, but that's about right. That's normal. Toads is 15. Thank God Toads is back. Peter Pan 45. Standard. Pinocchio 10. Standard. Pirates 15. Standard-ish, right? These days. Roger Rabbit 45. Less than usual. The return time of 5 hours. It's still an attraction that is crushing on Genie Plus. But yeah, 45 minutes on standby is actually, it's kind of a bargain these days. Snow White 15, standard space 40, light, but a return time of 4 hours. So people are using it there, and they're using it on Roger Rabbit and the Matterhorn, and that's about it. I wonder if it's because you just can't use them all. Maybe that's why, because whenever I've gotten Genie Plus, which is hardly ever, but the days that I got it, I only used a couple of them. I didn't use all of them. How often, guys, answer me that. If you get Genie Plus, do you use them all? How often do you use them all? Or how close do you get to using them all? Like, 75% of your, I don't know how many there are. 8, 10, I'm not sure. But so let's say 6 or 8 of them. Like, is that a normal thing? I wonder how, or is everybody like me, or most of you like me, where I'm using 2 or 3 of them like that? Because you don't need it. You don't need it for the rest of the attractions, hardly. Star Tours, 30, now. Rise Resistance 55, return time now. They're not buying it. So that fat queue that we saw is exactly what I was expecting. You know, it's pure standby, that attraction right now. Storybook Land, 5 minutes, that's great. And there you go, that's it. Delightful. Love our visits to Docking Bay 7, even if it's with a Tatooine Sunset from Ronto Roasters. I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna go into the gift shop. I hardly ever go into gift shops when I do these, but I just want to see what the situation is in here in Duck-Ondar's, which is a very popular place most times. And this is reasonably crowded. Usually the crowd is, you know, accumulated at the lightsaber. Oh, are you okay, Doc? Yeah, usually they're accumulated over here at the lightsaber stand, but guess milling about. Good to see. Okay. Oh, wow, that looks beautiful tonight. Sometimes I want to forget that I'm working and just enjoy this. Like now. Wow. Remember when I thought that Galaxy's Edge was going to break the park? They've been overestimating things for a lot longer than just the past couple of years. Disney has. They are learning valuable lessons right now that the customer can be fickle. 25 minutes standby. That's a pretty good report on the board. The queue looks a little stuck up there through the glass. That's the only thing we can really, you know, visualize when we're looking at this. But they do look a little sticky. They're not moving. They're posted. They're leaning up against the glass like they're, you know, resting, which suggests Lightning Lane. I wish I liked this ride more, the actual ride part of it. It's been a few years. I feel like I can be honest about these things now because I'm not crazy about Smuggler's Run, the ride, like the mechanics. I enjoy the proposed experience of it, you know, but I don't like simulators for one thing. But even as a simulator, I just wish they had different. They were supposed to have multiple experiences, and they just never delivered on that. They never delivered on a lot of Galaxy's Edge. But I really love coming back here. I really love coming to Galaxy's Edge, and I love going in the queue for Smuggler's Run, and I just like being here so much. I don't know. I wish they had a third ride, maybe like a dark ride, like we talked about in the past, like, you know, just a spinner, something for kids, a dark ride, something. Still a win for me though. Still love it. But, you know, Smuggler's Run isn't enough for me to bring me into this, you know, land more often. You know, usually this is the time of the show when I go on a rant. Like I'll get done checking the tip board over there at Docking Bay 7, and I'm like, I get my head full of commentary and thoughts, but you know, just like when we did the State of DCA report a couple weeks ago, it's unremarkable. Like nothing great or bad about it. You know, nothing stood out. So I guess we'll take that as an opportunity to just show you Disneyland a little bit. take a walk through.
What's up, Fresh Big?
Hey, how are you? Take a walk through one of my favorite transitions in the whole park, from Galaxy's Edge into Fantasyland. Delightful.
Recent return of Paw Patrol weasels to Mickey's town.
Ah, man, the view is going to be terrible here. You can't see it. You can hear it, but you can't see it. Oh well, but that's what I'm talking about. Feel a little vibey. That's about coming to the park this time of day, early evening like this. Definitely vibey. Like, I don't care. I don't care about anything right now. Just about having a good time in this park tonight. It's a chore to be critical on a night like this. As I mentioned often, each month, this is a typical choke point. We didn't get to measure the Adventureland choke point because it was pre-choked with those construction walls, but this is super mega light, super not light, or super not busy at all, which contrasts again with what we saw on the tip board, which suggests it should be busier out here. I should feel more pressure relative to how we've seen the tip boards in the past. We've seen much lighter tip boards, but busier action here in Fantasyland. This is nice. Everybody go home? Do I need to check the tip board again? Pinocchio, just barely poking out the threshold there. Oh my God, I love Fantasyland. Well, hi, how are you? I'm doing great, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm getting there, I'm doing great, thank you. This looks great, easy peasy. 10 minutes, love it when I don't see the queue out here. Peter Pan looks, oh my gosh, look at, okay, so since we did our tip board, like look at all this empty queue out here. Everybody went home. Everybody went home, man. They're supposed to be getting here after, like the after work crowd is supposed to be getting here. But it's been a long time since I've seen this much empty queue space in a Peter Pan queue in the middle-ish of the day. I don't even know what time it is. 6:30? My body clock is off. My inner clock is not working for me right now. I'm gonna go with 7 o'clock. I just checked my first my first guess was closer at 6:35. I mean, I got her at 5. Did we already do all this in an hour and a half? My good. Oh, Toads. I still haven't been on Toads yet since it reopened. It's killing me. It's killing me. That might be, well, no, Mark Twain. Mark Twain is number 1. Disneyland Railroad is number 2 in terms of how many times I've been on the attraction. And the monorail. So non-transportation recon attractions, Toads is number 1. And look, they didn't even open the gate. Or is it closed? Oh, they closed it. Is that what it is? They closed it because she's getting ready to. No. Why did they close it? I don't know. Yeah, they closed it. Okay. I was gonna say they. That's funny that they wouldn't even open the gates. All right, Dumbo. 20 minutes. I see nobody back there. You guys want to enjoy Dumbo for a second? Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Totally goable. Oh, they've landed. Easy peasy. Everybody's waving at me. How lovely. How lovely. I think everybody went home, you guys. I think everybody went home. Wow. Remember we were here last month where we did a little recon on this, and it was we were wondering if we might get everybody in on that rotation. There's nobody in the queue. Wait, come on, can we do it? Can we do it? Last guest is left, and there's nobody coming in. How long can we do this? How long can we stand by? It's been 5 seconds.
Oh, that's fine. Okay.
Did they close it? No, it's still open. People are coming in. That took almost a minute. I'm not sure why I couldn't stand there. That's weird. It must be a parade thing. Oh, I got to get into the left turn lane here. Hold on. Yeah, it's a parade thing. I didn't even realize it's close to parade time. Yeah, it took a solid 30 seconds to a minute for another guest to get into that queue while it was empty. That I don't think I've ever been witness to something like that where I've been paying attention. You know, like that's a first for me. We're gonna have ourselves a rough go getting out of here when we leave Toontown. Well, the parade may not be here by the time we get out because it's just now 6:40 now. Parade is just at Main Street. The front of the parade is now on. No, it'll be here. It'll be here. Good time to get on the Disneyland Railroad up there. You don't often see the Toontown Railroad Station empty like it is back there. Huh. Maybe it's, oh, you know what it is? I do this every time. Every time. The parade siphons, a lot of the guests out of the park, out of the queues. I mean, still, it shouldn't be as bad as we've seen it, but that's the reason why it's less than now than it was when we were looking at a tip board. Sometimes I forget how close we are to the parade, But I wonder how many guests fill the parade route? Like thousands, right? But how many thousands? If there's 40,000 people in the park right now, a quarter, right? That seems about right, maybe. So figure, reduce all the attraction wait times by a quarter. So if Dumbo is supposed to be 30, knock that down 25% or, 7 minutes. Okay, that's reasonable. Meanwhile, Toontown is looking as good as it's ever looked. Well, in terms of crowds. Like, this is the lightest. We made this observation. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. That's so blinding. We made this observation during our construction report that this is the most or least busy that I've seen it since the land opened. Wasn't that long ago, I wouldn't be able to even walk through the park like I just did. Okay, Gadget says 30 minutes on the board. And that's a 30-minute wait. Back at the queue, looks to be about there. Oh, good times. Good times, guys. I hope you had fun. Runaway Railway is open. They're on a roll. It's been open a bunch of times in a row since I've started keeping track of this. Standby says 40 minutes and the queue is out the door, so that's about accurate. I measured the door at 40:45. So exactly at the door, it takes you 40 minutes to get to your vehicle. Back outside our Fantasyland, it looks like we did beat the front of the parade back out here. And on that topic of the parade again, file that little formula away. File that little bit of recon away. I feel like that's a good expectation, is 20 to 25%. That seems pretty reasonable. If you see a line that's 60 minutes, 2 hours before the parade starts, and an hour or an hour and a half, like a half an hour before showtime, you can anticipate that queue dropping by 15 minutes. Oh, here it comes. Can I get across? Hey, how are you? Can I get there? Looks like we're gonna make it, but I gotta keep yammering because this is definitely copyright zone right here. Can we see? Oh, there they are! There! Magic's happening! Oh my gosh! Magic. We can see the parade effect happening visually right here at the Matterhorn. Posted wait time says 40 minutes. That ain't 40 minutes in there. That is half that, probably. Maybe not even that. That could be like 15 minutes. They're using both sides, and there's very little waiting out here in the extended queue. I mean, you can get through the covered portion. You can get through the covered portion of the Matterhorn queue in like 10 minutes. So, I mean, that's probably 15 minutes right there. So the effect is happening live as we speak. Once again, I get on this topic. I want Disney to succeed. I want this place to be busy, and I want everybody to be happy and having a good time. There is room for lots more guests without it infringing on the guest satisfaction. Lots of room here for more guests. And I am really starting to miss the monorail, you guys. It's getting bad. I don't know how I survived all that time without the Disneyland Railroad and the Mark Twain back when they closed the Rivers of America. Did you guys hear those Matterhorns going by? That was great. I don't know how I survived. It was like a year or more. I can't remember now. But I am jonesing so hard for a monorail. When I walk by, I keep like, oh, let's try to see if we can't catch a monorail going by. Not gonna happen. September 1st, I think, is the estimated reopening date. September 1st. I don't know if you guys caught the construction report that we did earlier this week that I've been referencing throughout this video. But look at what's happened here at Standby. There are 9 total windows, and it used to be just this one was Standby, and the line would go down that ramp, and it was excruciating to watch. And every other available window was dedicated to mobile order. It looks like right now they're using 3 for ordering, plus this one's available, so 4. And just 2. Oh, no, that's 3. Windows 3, 4, and 5 are dedicated to mobile. That is way off from their typical setup. It just used to be just the one. Oh, look at this. You've got one dedicated for Skyline Terrace. That's where they do their sign-in now. That's probably why when we came by here before, these were down. They weren't even serving here. Is Skyline Terrace doing that well that they can have their own window up there? Is it doing that well? Look at this setup. Stitch's Interplanetary Beach Party Blast. Uh-oh. I gotta get out of here. Holy shnikes. Look at Nemo. It's open. Nemo is open. I mean, this is the parade effect, right? That seems like more than 25% though, if I'm being honest. Wow. I was shocked, 10 minutes. I was shocked when I saw the wait time on the tip board, and that is accurate. It is 10 minutes for Nemo. Wow. We're on a roll. Let's see if we can't keep this going into Autopia, which I can see from here, which you cannot. The board says 5 minutes. The wait board says 5 minutes. Oh my God! I'm gonna show you guys. I have to go in here. Look it. So my earlier prediction is coming true. I thought it was gonna be super light today, and it is. That's the back of the queue. Incredible! Guys, we could just be jumping on all of these attractions. Everything is a walk-on right now. I mean, this won't last long. As I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the show, and you know, before, there's the parade effect happening for sure. But part of this is that we're still in that period where only the Inspire key is eligible. I think, or maybe Believe as well. But two of the keys, oh my God, get the camera right. 2 of the keys are still blocked out. You know, and then next week we get Enchant back, and then the week after that we get Imagine back. So weekdays like this Monday are going to be much more competitive. I do not expect what we're seeing today to be the case. As a matter of fact, I had thought about that when before coming down here today to shoot this video. I like to do these, I like to shoot these and have it ready for the... Hi guys, how are you? I like to have these ready to go by mid-month, the 15th, so I'm shooting on the 14th. I didn't want to wait until next week to shoot this video because then it wouldn't have been out until later in the month. So, but I'm really curious to see what's going to happen. I'm really curious to see what's going to happen in the October State of Disney report.
Are you busy?
I mentioned in our construction report, which I've just referenced again, no, you're going to have, are they letting folks in? Sometimes they don't let standby in the door unless, or they don't let people in the door unless you have a pickup. We'll see. But I want to see what things look like in here. I don't know. Right here? So they're still doing it like they were. Okay, yeah. All right, thank you. I detest this situation. You know, it was kind of cool coming in here back in the day when you would walk by and get your salad right here, and then if you wanted a pasta, you get your pasta right there. If you wanted a pizza, you get your pizza right there. And it was kind of neat. It was like a cafeteria. I love cafeteria style service, and now it's because of mobile order. They want to make this a mobile order thing. Another example of how mobile, like I just put, you know, like Rancho, they tried it at Rancho, they gave it up. They tried it at Plaza Inn. They did it for a minute at Plaza Inn. You used to be able to pick up your chicken at the plaza next to that, you know, the old coffee machine, the coffee right there. You go in there and pick it up. Terrible. Some places are not built for mobile order, and this is one of them. It's not built for this. They have to redo it. French Market was not built for it. Luckily, they've changed it. They made a proper window. That's what they need to do here. They need to come up with some sort of similar arrangement here as they did at French Market. Create a window out there for people to just come by and pick up their mobile. Because this is terrible. And they've been doing this since the parks reopened. I don't like it. I'm not a fan. I don't know why I'm talking about it today, but I just want to come in and see if things are different, and they're not. As for Space Mountain, hey, well, at least that's doing business. 65 minutes is the posted standby. I could go up there and look at it, but I'm going to take their word for it. But 65 minutes is what it should be. So people are showing up. They're just hitting the big rides, you know. Space, Matterhorn. Well, actually, Matterhorn was quite dead when we walked by it. Indiana Jones, Big Thunder. or the Haunted Mansion's closed. But yeah, those are the only attractions that are still doing their usual business, is the big ones. Everything else is way slower than it normally is. You know, I wasn't sure if we were going to beat the sun, but we are. We're gonna beat sunset. Ooh, this is nice. This is busy. Sorry. Trying to get that sun out of your eyes, guys. I'm very, very sorry. But this, I like this. This is how it should feel. It's not bad, you know. It's not like oppressive, but it's busy. Tomorrowland. I keep saying, why should they change Tomorrowland? It's always busy as heck in here. It's still a very popular land, even though everybody agrees that's the one land that needs a makeover more than any other. And yet here they are. This is the busiest we've seen in the park all day. All day. Even Star Tours. They're using the inner queue in Star Tours. Incredible. That's going to be 40 minutes, I bet. 30. It says 30. Meanwhile, 25. So buzz is picked up. You know what happened? The parade's over. That's what happened. Parade's over. People are jumping in queues again. 25 minutes. And that's a decent sized lightning lane. Man, I tell you what, parade time is the time to hit attractions. It really is. Parades and fireworks.
To make your rocket ship fly higher, pull back on the control lever and lock. To descend, just push the control lever forward. Thank you. Pilots, prepare for liftoff.
We're on the home stretch, guys. Let's see if we can say hi to Walt on our way to Frontierland. Looking good.
Got it? Did you get it?
Thanks, Walt. Oh, that was cool. Duck just flew by. It's the little things. Yeah. I want to be old and working at Disneyland for fun. My white hair. God. It's made of wood. You know, I'm surprised actually. I was ready to start talking about Halloween at the opening of this show. I thought we might see at least some kind of decorations. But it is now the 14th, and we still have not even seen a single pumpkin outside of the merchandise. I feel like they did start earlier than this. They started on like the 11th, the 10th or 11th last year. But nothing yet, nothing. Usually it's Frontierland and Main Street that gets, Frontierland is often before Main Street. But you start seeing pumpkins in the windows on Main Street, then you see a little smattering of decorations in Frontierland, then they start putting the pumpkins out on Main Street, the face pumpkins. All right, last stop. Predictions? I'm gonna say 30. Guys, I don't cheat, by the way. I never cheat. 30 minutes. Called it, nailed it. I've been to Disneyland 1,000 times. No exaggeration. They're going to be here for that full 30, though. That is not a quick moving queue, as far as I can tell. That is not. Oh, there goes a train. Hey, you guys want to go see a train? Let's go look at the trains. I usually rush my way through this part of it because the show is winding up. Hi guys. Well, let's end it on a train note. Big Thunder's perfection. It's kind of perfect, Big Thunder is. It's kind of perfect. So many elements here that I just love. But just watching this, the water, you can hear the waterfall, the train going by, it's just perfect. Thank you to Tony Baxter, and thank you guys for catching our show today. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to follow us. Subscribe to our channel here. Subscribe here and on Fresh Bake Presents, where we occasionally do live streams. And then Theme Park POV Pros, that's where you do ride-throughs and tours of the park. Subscribe to those channels. There'll be links in the description. And then follow us on Instagram at _FreshBake, where you can find Liz holding the fort there, and on Twitter at Fresh Bake Disney, that's Fresh with no E, where I have been exceedingly active on Twitter recently. I've been super active on Twitter, so hopefully we're going to be looking at doing actually content just for Twitter, hopefully in the near future. So follow us on Twitter, and then obviously if you want to help show your support for the channel, you can join our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/freshbake. Thank you very much in advance for that. Otherwise, thanks again for watching, everybody. We love you. We love this train. Be safe. Be kind.